in here. All
There we
right,
go.
welcome back, everybody. Burning Assassination Session 6, I believe. I think it's 6.
Yes,
But
that's right.
last we left off, Donlin Trine decided to waltz into the uh, embassy, and that didn't go too well for him. He was stopped by the guards and detained.
That's right. That's right.
So, nice big cliffhanger. None of the beliefs have changed. However, we will go ahead and recap those real quick. Number 1, in my attempts to infiltrate the conspirators, I've been asked to remove Relgar the Slaver by Isham, who wishes to regain his status back with the Council. I shall do this not only to continue to build rapport with Isham, but also so that I can take over the slave trade for myself. In this, I will be able to whisk away these slaves to the lands of King Solgard, where they will be safe, establishing an underground railroad of sorts while building my credibility. Number 2, innocent life is the most valuable thing in the world. I must protect it at all costs. The way this session's looking like, that may not be such an easy task this time around.
Yep.
And number 3, I shall seek and play with Relgar in order to learn his weaknesses. I will have Isham vouch for my services. So, I do have him play with Relgar. Isham did vouch for my services, but I have not learned weaknesses yet, so that belief continues.
Yes. Yes. All right. So when we last left off, you were tasked with infiltrating the Aranor embassy in Anglapur, um, and you were asked to provide entrance for Relgar's right-hand man, Eshkal, in order to assassinate the Aranor ambassador, who's giving trouble to Relgar.
Yes.
Now, you had a disagreement because you wanted to operate alone, and after a duel of wits discussion, you guys agreed that you would take Eshkal along, but you would be doing the actual deed, and Eshkal would just be like an observer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you were asked to take the ambassador out by poisoning him. Uh, in your usual style, you procured a second poison from Isham, which is a potion that just makes the people seem they appear to be dead, but in actuality they are not. So you did procure that, and your next step was to craft a disguise for Eshkal that kind of resembled the people of Aranor, but then again it didn't, so that the guards would recognize that something was really wrong.
Yes.
And then you went to the embassy, and guards immediately realized that there was something wrong with your companion's disguise and confronted you. And at that time, one of the guards recognized you as Donlan Trine.
Yes.
So you were
Immediately
they
detained.
yes, immediately detained. They lowered their polearms and took you into custody.
Yes, and that is where
So
we left off. Nice
yes,
little
that is
cliffhanger.
yeah. So so yes, you're immediately detained, um, and you're not going to resist
Nope.
uh,
Nope, I'll go quietly.
anything. All right. So so the guards take you, and they're going to search you for weapons. Are you carrying any concealed weapons?
No, I'm not, because I left my dagger in old dude's desk, in Rogar's desk, but I never did retrieve that. So all I
All
have
right.
on me is my sword.
All right. So they take that into custody, and they move you to a room inside the embassy. Um, it's a wooden door, but it's a stone. It's a large stone building. There's only a small window in this room, and according to your instinct, you always check for exits. And there's only a small window with bars on it,
Okay.
so iron bars on it, so it doesn't look like you're getting out this way.
Alright. Well, at this point, I would
Mm-hmm.
like to roll my spycraft wise to establish that in Aranor, law states that um, any citizen, upon entering the embassy, has the right to audience with the ambassador, regardless of their status. While yes, I am a traitor and I am a wanted fugitive, I am still a citizen. And I feel like that would fall under spycraft wise because spies would want to know some shit like that about their embassy when working in foreign countries.
Okay. Okay. So let's figure out. There's probably some odds for a similar skill, which would be like rule of law. So let's take a look at
Yeah, there's that, and then
rule of law is page 293. Let's see, common law, royal law, commercial, technicality. Uh, it's not really a technicality.
no, I feel
Let's
like
call it. Let's call it like it should be either like common law or something like that because
I
if
feel
it's
like common law would be appropriate.
yeah yeah because if it's a basic right that people have,
Yeah,
it shouldn't be too convoluted a thing.
which
It's like your one phone call
yeah,
nowadays. So it's all
something
right.
else I would like to point out in the obstacles for wises,
Mm-hmm.
common knowledge of the subject is objective 1, and interesting fact is objective 2.
Yeah, let's keep it objective too, though, because this is
Yep.
not a thing that pops up in everyday situations. This would
Yep.
be something like merchants and people traveling
Yep.
abroad would probably be advised of, but regular citizens are not leaving the country. So let's call it an
No,
op two.
I'm happy with up 2.
So if you
Um,
succeed, I mean, yeah, you get to call on that right. If you don't, then and I guess you're not getting that. You're going to speak to somebody else. That's what you're going to do.
okay.
Yeah.
So I have spycraft of B2.
Uh huh.
I would like to fork in my B2 etiquette as well. I feel like that is
That's
appropriate.
appropriate.
If yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So that gives me 3 dice. And what is my Arta looking like at the moment? Oh, where'd you go? 8 fate and 3 persona. Nah, I don't quite want to burn a persona yet, but we've got fate should we need it. So three
Oh,
dice
there it is.
against the ob 2,
That is correct.
and I got it.
Excellent.
Quite
Excellent. So that
perfect.
is
And 2, yeah, 3 against 2 is routine, but that's
yeah.
okay because it is a low skill, and I do need those routine tests.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and get that marked in here right quick. That is the first time I've used Spycraft Wise for anything other than a fork.
Yeah. So the
Perfect. So yeah,
fact
I just
is
tell him
now.
like I
Yeah.
am a citizen of Aranor. I am invoking my right, and I would like to speak with the ambassador immediately.
The guard says you'll speak to the guard captain first. So the fact exists. I mean, you're going to get
Yeah.
to speak to the ambassador, but you're going to want to speak to the guard captain first. So they leave you alone for a few moments, and I'm assuming there's nothing sneaky that you want to try at this point because you're betting on
Yeah.
the ambassador. So the door opens up, and man steps through, takes a look at you, and says, "You. I didn't expect to find you here." And it turns out to be none other than your brother Crowley, who happens to be in the
Oh,
guard of the ambassador of this country.
Crowley, Crowley, Crowley. It seems like you have moved your station up. Congratulations.
Yes, well, no thanks to you and the shame that you brought upon our family name. What
Yes.
the hell are you? What the hell are you
Shame.
doing down here in Arundel?
Now it's just me and him in the room, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here in Arendelle because I just can't be running around Aranor like I'm a wanted man. So this is where I landed, and I've been using my skills to survive. In doing so, I was commissioned for a job.
All
That
right.
job was to kill you. However, that was never my plan. If you,
Okay, but this isn't the ambassador. It's the guard captain.
oh,
It's your brother's the guard
guard
captain.
captain.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
My bad. I spaced out. Okay.
No, no. Okay. Start over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's retcon a little bit because I
Yeah.
I confused myself a bit. I heard
Yeah. Yeah.
brother and I was like, oh shit.
No, I thought about it, but I figured the guard
Yeah.
captain is maybe a better position.
Okay. Yeah. Guard captain works. All right. So
Because you got to decide how much are you going to tell him as
yeah,
the guard captain. Because you hate each other. That's the
yeah.
whole deal,
We
right?
do hate each other. So well, he hates me. I don't necessarily hate him,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
he hates me. So yeah, I'm here because I can't be in Illinois. This is good as place as any, and I've just been trying to survive. Now, brother, I know that there is animosity between us, but what would you say if I could help you rise your station even farther?
To my station with one of your wild schemes.
You could say that, regardless of whether you help me or not. This wild scheme's going to happen. However, if you would like to aid me, you can, and then you can take the glory for yourself.
I I could get some glory just by putting you back in a ship and sending you home. I'm sure the king
You
will
know,
like to have a few words with you after you
you'd,
try to kill him.
you'd think that you would, but I assure you, the glory lies here. Now, I'm not opposed to doing this without you. Like, my goals are going to be accomplished one way or another. But as a sign of good faith and to try to repair our broken relationship, I'd like to bring you in on this.
He says, why are you here? Why are you trying to come to the embassy? You know you're a wanted man. Um,
Yes,
you didn't
I
even
am a
bother
wanted
with
man.
the. You
No,
didn't
I didn't
even
bother with
bother
the
with the
disguise
disguise.
because
Yeah.
I am exactly where I want to be. You know
That
me
is
well enough.
precisely that is precisely what worries me.
Yes.
Well,
You know me well enough to know that I'm smart enough to not just walk into my home embassy as a fugitive of the state. This is
that
where
is
I want to be. This is where I need to be. So I'll tell you what. Here's what's going down. I've been contracted to kill the ambassador. However, I don't want to kill the ambassador. But if I don't do something, they're going to kill me. And they're still going to kill the ambassador. If you go through my possessions, which your guards have stripped me of, you'll find two vials. One of them is a lethal poison. Another one is a fast-acting paralytic. I procured the paralytic against my employer's wishes. He does not know I have it. The plan is to speak with the ambassador, convince him of the danger, and give him the paralytic, fake his death, and send him back home to the king. Should this plan go awry, nothing's going to stop him from dying. I am the man's only salvation. Now,
awesome.
I'm going to speak with the ambassador one way or another, as is my right as an Aranor citizen. However, if you would like to be present in the room, and you help me to convince the ambassador of the danger, When all this plays out, you'll be hailed as a hero for saving his life. However, if you go against me in this, I'll still convince the ambassador of what is right, and you will be the roadblock that almost got him killed.
Awesome. So he says, I don't know, this is another of your wild schemes. Um, I'm going to bring the ambassador in here, and you're going to tell him this crazy idea. Uh, he's going to want to listen to this for himself. But I'm keeping you in chains because you're dangerous.
That's
For all
fine.
I know, this is just a ruse to get within reach of the ambassador, so you can murder him too.
Oh, Crowley, Crowley, Crowley. There are far easier ways that I could have murdered the ambassador. Do you really think I'd go through all of this trouble? Just scurry along and get him.
I'll put you in chains first.
That's fine.
That's fine. You agree to that? All right. So he has somebody come in and clap you in irons, and your hands are in manacles and chains.
Okay.
All right. So they put similar gear on your legs, so you're bound hands and feet. So a few minutes later, the ambassador walks in. The ambassador's name is Durlan, Ambassador Durlan,
Ambassador
and
Durlam, welcome to my humble abode.
he says, Captain Trine has told me that you have some wild story about an assassination attempt, and uh, I am, of course, aware of who you are and your relationship to the captain. So I would hear this story for myself. So
And I
you
will,
just
I'll start
repeat
off with,
saying,
well, you know who I am. You know of my skills. You've heard the stories. And then I will tell him everything I told Crowley.
all right, all right.
And I mean, if we need
So,
this to be a persuasion check, I'd be
yeah, so,
amicable to
so,
that, or even a full-on duel of wits.
so if you proceed with the story, he says, what is it that you propose to do? And
Well,
who
I
is it?
propose,
And who is it that wants me killed?
well, Rogar the Slaver is who wants you dead. It is my understanding that you've been meddling in his affairs, and he's not happy about it. That is why the hit was commissioned. What I propose is that you take the second potion. And this is a fast-acting paralytic. For all intensive purposes, you will appear dead. Then we will put your body on a boat and ship you back to your homeland so you can be properly buried. Somewhere along the voyage, you'll wake up, go and speak with the king. Everything else will be taken care of. The reason I do this is not only because I don't wish to see an innocent man die, but I would also one day like to walk back in my own lands a free man. And I figure saving a prominent citizen of Aranor such as yourself would go a long way to help me achieve that goal. And you should know
That
very well
is,
that had I wanted you dead, there are many other opportunities I could have had than to walk in here, tell you who I am, and volunteer to be clamped in irons.
all right. So he's listening to your story. Um, he looks at your brother, and your brother sort of, nods when you say that. And I don't know. You're gonna have to do some sort of convincing right here, because this is a risky plan that you want, and there are affairs that the ambassador has to take care of. So this puts
Um, then we're at roads between either a duel of wits or a witty versus.
so
And I'll
which
leave that to your discretion. I'm cool with either one.
So I don't know. I'm cool with either way. You could
Uh,
whatever
let's
you prefer. We could do it the long way or the short way.
let's do the Woody versus
All right, all right.
because A is
So
short and B I'm better at it.
those are always two good points. Yeah. So here's the deal. What he wants is basically uh, he's not keen on going through with it, but rather he wants to go to the Emperor of Anglapur, the Emperor of Arundel, who's here in the capital, and accuse Relgar of trying to murder him, and he wants you to testify to that effect so that the authorities can take care of that.
Yes, and this I
And
cannot do. For I have to look out for my own safety because I'm the only one these days that looks out for my safety. And making enemies with one of the larger criminals in this particular country does not bode well for me. I would like
no.
you to take the poison as soon as
Hmm.
possible
Hmm.
and then release my irons. From that
All
point,
right.
I promise no death will come to any of your guards. However, there may be a few injuries as I make my escape, because not only will I have to escape, but I will also have to break free my accomplice, or else it will compromise everything that I'm doing. If I return without him, they will know something's up, and they will still hunt you. It is the only way. So that's my statement of intent here.
All right. All
And
right.
now
I
it's
like
time
it.
for some dice mongering.
Yeah. Let's see. All
So,
right.
let's see. Well, I feel I can justify opening it up with a falsehood because there was quite a few different lies intertwined throughout that entire exchange.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So that gives me my base 5 die. I will fork in intimidation because I'm telling him if it doesn't go my way, he's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
My persuasion that puts me up to 7. Crime wise, because it's about an assassination, is 8. Spycraft wise, it makes it 9. And we'll throw etiquette in there for good measure because I know how to speak with the ambassador.
All right.
And
All
that
right.
musters me a total of 10 dice altogether for this Witty Versus.
All right. So let's start him off with a persuasion of 5. Let's fork in command for 6. Let's uh, let's give him a trait. Uh, experienced ambassador. So I'll give him an extra die because he knows how to deal with tense situations such as this. Um, let's fork in etiquette 2.
Mm.
So let's call it 8 dice.
Question, I have the die trait scheming that gives me an additional 1d towards my body of argument. Can that be applied to a Witty Versus?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Perfect.
do
So
it.
now I'm up to 11.
So you're up to
11
11.
against 8. I like those odds.
Yeah, I should increase that. That's kind of too little. Let's give him a let's give him an extra die and make it 9.
Yeah.
Let's
And, well,
say that.
speaking of extra dice, we've established that Crowley did give the agreeable nod to what I was saying. Is that worth a
All
helping hand?
right. Okay. Okay. Let's do it.
Perfect. That's
So it's
12.
gonna be 12 versus 9. Let's see what happens.
All right.
So any persona or anything else
Ooh,
that you want to
nope.
pour in there?
I don't
Oh
think I
my
need it.
God.
And if I do, I got fate.
Oh my God!
One,
Let's look
two,
at
three,
that.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes with 5 6s to explode should I
Wow.
need it. So
So it's
let's see what he
one,
comes up with.
two, three, four. Just four successes.
4 against my 8. So at that point, that's
So
what is that? A minor or moderate compromise?
how many successes you had initially? 8.
I have 8 successes.
So that brings you down to exactly 50%. So that's a compromise, a solid
Solid
compromise.
compromise. Okay,
So we
I
need
don't
to
like that.
alter.
I'm gonna spend a
Yeah.
fate and blow up these 5 6s.
Oh my God.
Well, I got 1 6 out of it, so we'll go ahead and blow that up.
Blow it again. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
I got,
now
I
it's
got, I
what?
got 1 success
9.
over, which brings me above that 50%.
All right. So it's almost a solid compromise.
Almost a
Let's.
solid compromise.
Okay. He's really nervous about this plan, but Crowley is once again putting his life and reputation on the line for you. Uh, uh, but the ambassador is really nervous. So he agrees to your plan, but somebody is going to test the. He's going to call in his own uh, drug and poison expert to verify the paralytic so he knows it doesn't kill him.
Okay,
And furthermore, he wants Crawley present and hidden in his room when to observe his body at all times.
fair enough.
All right, he wants
I
to Crawley there uh, to
and
supervise.
with that, I would like to speak with my brother privately while we wait on your expert to come and test the paralytic.
All right, all right. So yeah, the ambassador goes away, and Crawley's starting to get nervous.
So,
He's like, I don't know,
Crowley,
Donlan, man.
I,
This
I,
better
I know
work.
you're nervous. I know you're not my biggest fan, and I'm taking a risk by telling you what I'm about to tell you. I did not try to kill the king. It was a ruse. The king was in on it. There have been so many attempts on the king's life, and we don't know where they're coming from, that we needed to get a man on the inside. I volunteered for the job, and the only way to have the credibility I needed was a public display of an attempted assassination. I have broken out of prison. That is why I'm down here. That's why I accepted this job to kill the ambassador, is to help build credibility so I can work from within these criminal organizations. And I know you have no reason to believe that, and that's fine. You're going to be accompanying the ambassador all the way back to Aranor. When you get there, go see the king. And just so he knows that I was the one that sent you, mention his friend that helped him out with the chlamydia. It's kind of
All
our
right,
code word to let him know that I indeed did inform you of what is going on.
all right.
And the king will see to it that you are rewarded for your services. That I can promise you. Now, once all
I
this
want
goes
to.
down, you have to unshackle me, and you just got to tell me where my equipment is. I'll take care of everything else, and I'll make sure nobody dies. But you cannot give pursuit. You're
All
and
right. Yeah.
according to law, this is sovereign Aranor territory. Once you step foot off these grounds, it no longer is. You guys are out of your jurisdiction anyways. So once we get off the grounds, you guys got to leave it be. I'm doing what is best for everybody here, and I hope one day that you can see that and we can be brothers again.
All right. I like this. I was thinking of you doing a persuasion roll, but uh, I'm inclining to just say yes, and
Oh,
because you already won the persuasion with the ambassador, so the plan is going down anyways.
yeah.
So he's just gonna say, "You better not be playing me, Donlan. Uh, if you let me down, I will hunt you down to the ends of the earth." There will be no place you can hide from me. Uh, do not mess this up, man. I will not lose my job and my reputation and what little I have of my dignity over some of your another one of your crazy ideas. So I'm taking a big risks here. Uh,
And you will be rewarded for it, brother.
let's
That I
hope so.
promise. But for now, abscond away and take the preparations.
All right. So
I
maybe
also have a call-on trait for falsehoods too that I was ready to pull out if need be.
just in case, yes. No, but you're. I mean, you've been dealing pretty much with the truth here. There's been no falsehood, or very little.
Well,
I would think.
there was quite a few little lies throughout there,
Mhm.
enough that I could justify using falsehood as the base skill, just for my
Okay.
reasons behind what I was doing, how
Yeah.
I was going about doing it, the whole 9 yards. Like, I don't know that there was a better way to kill him than to just walk in the embassy. Like, that was total just coming out of my ass.
Oh well. Yeah. Yeah. I know. No, but with the whole explaining to Crowley what.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about for that witty versus. I had
No,
that
no.
call on trade up my sleeve just in case
Yeah.
the
Just in
12
case.
dice
Yeah.
didn't work.
But man, that was a good roll. So he goes. All right. All right. He goes away for maybe an hour or so, and then he comes back. He's carrying a key and your stuff. So he puts it on the table. There's a table in there. You're shackled to a and he says, "Okay, look, the ambassador is going to be in his room. I'm going to release your bonds here. I'm going to leave the key. Your friend is uh, four doors uh, to the right when you exit the room. Uh, I'll I'll be waiting in the ambassador's chambers. I'm going to hide, um, but I'm going to be watching, and I'll be ready. If anything weird goes down, uh, I'm going to be ready for it. So
Okay, just know that
don't mess up. Yeah.
when I come in here, it was
uh-huh.
originally supposed to go in as food, but I cannot do that convincingly anymore. So make sure he is laying in his bed with his eyes closed, and I'm just gonna force the poison down his throat, and then we're gonna leave. That way, my cover is not blown.
Okay.
So when that
Uh
happens, you know what's gonna happen.
huh. All right.
So
All right.
let's get it done.
Okay.
So yeah, I take it
So
he leaves.
uh huh. Uh huh. And
Uh,
he unlocks your manacles and leaves you the key.
cool. I grab the key. I strap my sword on,
Uh huh.
and I poke my head out the door to see if the coast is clear.
And it is. Yeah.
Perfect.
Pretty much is. Yep.
I walk down. I unlock old dude's cell. And I just look at him like, "Come on, we don't got a lot of time. On your feet,
Okay.
or
He's
I'm leaving you behind."
he's shackled too. He's
Oh well,
manacled
then
just like you were.
I unlock him,
Yeah. And he
and I
says.
tell him, "On your feet. We ain't got a lot of time. We got to get this done."
So he says. So how did you get out? These people recognized you.
Yeah, I didn't count on that. I was hoping the news of my exploits hadn't traveled this far south to the embassy, but I got a man on the inside that I knew from back in the day. I convinced him to help me out, but we don't have a lot of time before he's no longer in that position to help me out anymore. So we've got to get this done.
All right. So.
So yeah, we make it straight for the ambassador's room.
Mm-hmm.
Careful, check our corridor intersections and whatnot along the way.
Mm-hmm. And you meet no one along the way.
Perfect. I'll be stealthy as I walk in just to be convincing for him.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And
So you make it to the ambassador's room, and the ambassador is just lying on his bed. That's what you requested, right?
yes, that is what I
He's just
requested.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
just
he's
look
in
at him
his.
and I give him a shh,
All right,
and I creep up. I plug his nose and force the poison down his throat.
all right. But Eshkal is with you in the room, right? He comes with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I want him to see this happen.
All
So I
right.
force it down his throat, and I'm assuming at this point he's like, I know he wasn't sleeping, but he's gonna react and he's gonna come to.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He
I
struggles.
would
He struggles.
like to roll brawling to knock him unconscious,
All right, all right. Let's do that.
just for sake of show. So before brawling, what is my ob here?
Actually, let's just say yes to that.
Just say
You
yes,
just knock him
perfect.
out. Yeah.
So yeah, I cold cock him, and
hmm
is there a window?
There is a window. Yes.
Are we on first, second story,
You're in third story. This is a big
third
building.
story?
Yeah.
Big building. Suppose there's sheets on the bed.
Yes.
I would like to tie some sheets together into a makeshift rope.
All right. So you start working on that, and as you start working on that, Eshkal approaches the ambassador and starts examining him.
That's fine. I pay it
So,
no mind, like it doesn't phase me.
all right.
And I
So
continue working.
now I want to make a roll and
Okay.
see if he can detect any evidence of foul play, because he is knowledgeable in poisons.
Yes, that's okay.
So so
What's the
let's
roll versus
let's
the ob?
yeah, let's come up with an ob here, and let's see.
So what's he rolling? Poison wise?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
rolling poison wise, and he's gonna fork in anatomy, and let me see what else he can fork in. Assassination wise.
Okay. So from my
So
glance
let's.
over wises, I am inclined that this would be the equivalent of rare goods, which would be an op 5.
Okay.
Because the scale is interesting facts, details, uncommon knowledge, rare goods, bizarre, obscure, freaky details, or specifics. And
Okay.
while I feel it's more than uncommon, I don't feel that paralytic poison would be bizarre or obscure.
No, particularly for this guy, because this guy does work in poisons.
Yeah, yes,
So
rare
up five.
up 5.
Uh, Let me see. I'm going to give him an extra fork for herbalism. So I'm going to roll 7 dice against an op 5.
Okay,
So if he succeeds, he recognizes that it's paralytic, and he's going to do something about it.
okay,
If he doesn't, he's going to believe that you actually gave him the correct poison, and you'll just walk.
perfect.
How's that sound? So
Sounds
this is
great.
not straight burning will procedure, but I don't see any other way of
Yeah,
doing it.
I mean the NPCs get rolls as well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable.
So, and I'm going to give him one fate, just in
Okay.
case he needs to blow something up. So here we go.
Now I would lobby that if this is a success, or if he fails to success for me, that I get
Uh-huh.
an advantage die towards my future falsehood roll to Relgar when I tell him that I killed dude.
Okay, I agree with that. So he's got 1, 2, 3 successes,
With
and
two
hey,
sixes though.
let's blow it up. Why not? So it's an up 5. Here we go. Oh, one
Oh,
more. So he looks at the guy and he goes, and he goes for his pocket, and pulls out a little satin bag and starts pulling stuff out of the bag.
Okay, at this point, I would like to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do a full-on fight. We could do bloody versus. We could just do a regular versus. I don't really care. He's got to die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's your game. What do you feel like doing?
Um, I mean, I would be down for just a straight-up versus test to keep things moving.
All right.
So
All
my
right.
plan is to scream, Crowley, shit's hitting the fan, draw my
Okay.
sword, and just go to run him through, and
Okay.
hopefully Crowley comes out and gives me advantage die of some kind.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So right off the bat, um, we're gonna make this like. Should we make it like a bloody versus to take into account advantages and stuff like that, or
Yeah, I'm
just
down for bloody versus.
um, let's do bloody versus because there's some couple of factors here that probably even help you
Yeah,
in the attempt.
the fact that he doesn't have a weapon out because he's got his hands on a bag pulling shit out.
Actually, that's true. So maybe let's just give you the benefits then. Let's give you let's give you
Just an advantage die for him having to fumble to get his weapon after I come after him.
yes, that's one. You get a
Yeah,
second
and then
advantage because he's going to be using a dagger.
okay,
So that's a second advantage to you.
two advantage from Crowley coming out.
That's three.
So that's three
So
advantage dice plus my skill and my forks.
plus to your skill. Exactly. Exactly. So so let me see what do I want to roll for him? Just because maybe I don't need to roll weapons. He doesn't really need
Five.
to kill you at this point.
No, he's just got to survive himself. He could even, I don't know, roll like a speed to
That's what I'm
just
thinking. Maybe
book out before I can kill him against mine. So I've got 4, 5, 6.
okay. I got it. I got it. He's gonna roll a speed check. Okay.
Okay. Versus my sword
And
skill.
yes, your sword with the three advantages. Actually, let's. I'll take back the dagger advantage
Okay, yeah,
because
that's fine.
now
That's fine.
weapon length is no longer an issue here.
6,
So you got one
7, 8.
for him being caught unprepared because you're going to
Yeah.
kill him out of the blue. You got one for Crowley, so that's two dice plus your sword skill plus whatever else you can fork in. He's going to do a speed test, but I'm going to fork in a couple of things. If he succeeds, he's going to stab the ambassador with a poison dagger.
Okay.
Okay? That's his
Okay.
reaction is he panics and he goes to kill the ambassador and then kill you.
Okay.
So, but if he succeeds, he's going to kill the ambassador and then you guys, then you can then move on to a fight
A
or
fight. Yeah.
bloody verse, something like that.
Okay.
All right?
So I've got 2 advantage die
All right.
plus my B4 sword, so that gives me 6. Forking and brawling for 7, because I'm absolutely going to throw a punch as I'm swinging my sword to try to get him to maybe block the punch.
Mm-hmm.
Spycraft lies for 8, and intimidation for 9, as I'm just like, Crowley, get out here, shit's in the fan, we're going to kill him.
All right. So let me see. I'm going to give him a speed of 5. Assassination wise is 1 fork. You're doing how many dice? 9 dice?
9 total so far,
Yeah. So
excluding Arda, that I may decide to use.
yeah. Let's give him poisons for an extra fork, and let's give him anatomy because he knows where to strike. And let's give him.
You
I
know,
had like a trait in. Yeah.
I would lobby against anatomy to know where he strikes. As you described him as stabbing the ambassador in a panic, if he's in a
Okay.
panic, I don't feel he'd be cool-headed enough to be like, "Oh, I'm going for the carotid artery."
Okay. Okay. So let's see what else. I wanted a trait similar to your grace under pressure for him. Um let's call it cool-headed, which is an actual trait.
Okay.
Well, that is a die trait, so no, it just reduces hesitation. Yeah, but I'm thinking it applies because I'll give him an advantage die for having the trait because this
Okay.
is a crazy situation. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah. Fair
gonna.
enough.
All
Fair
right,
enough.
so he's
I
rolling
just want to make
eight
sure everything
dice.
works with the fiction, because with him panicking, like
Yeah.
I couldn't see anatomy being useful.
No, I mean it makes sense. It makes sense. But then again, he's a cool customer,
Yeah.
so he's not forking it in, but he's also
Yeah. Yeah.
keeping his head,
The
up
advantage
point.
dice is still there. It's just coming from someplace different, which is absolutely fine.
So let's call it eight dice in his pool, and you got nine.
Okay. 8 against my 9.
Yep.
I feel like I should go ahead and burn a persona on this as well.
This goes to your belief of protecting the innocent, because the guy did put his life in
Yeah.
your hands.
It
Yeah.
does. We're gonna call it 2 persona.
All right. All
And
right.
see what happens.
Yeah. So let's rock and roll. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
And I got one, two, three, four successes. Oh man, I feel like giving him an extra fate.
Give him a fate. He hasn't used a fate.
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
Let's do it. Let's see. One, two. Let's see. All right. Let's see if he can do it. All right. So he gets one, two, three, four, five successes, and you got one, two, three, four, five, six successes. Right? Is that right?
Yep, that is correct.
3, 4, 5. So he misses. You get your intent.
Cool. So Crawley comes just busting out of this closet in like this flying tackle,
Uh huh.
and I'm just like I go to a knee with my sword sticking up, and he like tackles him onto the sword.
Excellent, excellent. And he's like in the process of drawing the dagger and pulling back to strike when he gets pulled
Yep.
down. So he dies. Yeah,
Yeah. He dies.
excellent.
So Crawley,
Spectacular, gory thing. Yeah.
change of plans.
The
He
ambassador.
apparently
Uh,
figured out that I did not use the correct poison. He was going to go and kill the ambassador. We had to stop it. So here's the new plan. Ambassador still gets shipped off. You still tell people he died. You just tell them that you were able to kill one of the
the
assassins.
assassin.
That the second
Excellent.
assassin escaped. And that will
He
go a long
says,
way towards helping me and my end goal.
he, he goes, he goes. Damn it, Donlan! I thought you had it under control. You almost
I
didn't
thought
do
I
it.
did too. I didn't expect him to be able to identify the poison after the fact. But that's why you were in the closet, just in case. Everything's still on track. We're still golden.
He's shaking,
Yeah.
You're cool because you got grace under pressure,
Yep.
man.
Grace under
But
pressure.
he's shaking, yeah.
Just the life of a spy, man. Sometimes you gotta improvise. And I tell him I need him to trade me swords because I can't go back with a bloodstained sword.
Yeah, yeah. So he doesn't even. He's not even worried about that.
Cool. All right. Give the king my regards. And
Yeah.
I'm out the window, down the cloth,
Excellent.
and escaping into the night.
All right.
Well,
All right.
that went better than I expected it to. It
You had
didn't
some real
quite,
good rolls, man. It's like,
yeah, it didn't quite go according to plan, but it went better than I expected. So I guess first order of business is to just straight back to Rogars.
all right. So, so yeah. So you get back to Relgars, and first thing he does is, as soon as you walk in the door, he goes, "Where's Eshkol?"
Dead. He got sloppy. See, before we entered, I disguised him up to look like a citizen of Erenor, and that's how I plan to gain us entry into the embassy. I told him not to speak. He decided to speak and got us both locked up. I broke out. I broke him out. I had to forcefully administer the poison to the ambassador, as he had already taken his meal and gone to bed for the evening. And as I was setting up our escape route, your man decided to start checking over the body. Took too long, the guards bursted in. There was a fight. I left his ass to die.
This is
I told you,
excellent.
I told you he'd only slow me down. He'd get in the way. That's why I wanted to work alone, and that's exactly what happened.
All
But
right.
your ambassador is dead. Oh, and by the way, and I throw him the ring from his competitor. I took care of one of your competitors for you the other day. I forgot to tell you about that.
All right. Okay, so you're gonna give me a persuasion roll, falsehood roll here,
Yeah, yeah, for
to
sure.
convince him. The obstacle is his will, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it's a will of 5, as we established the other day.
Okay. I would
I
lobby for an advantage dice, since this is extremely close to the truth of what happened.
Okay, I'll give you that, and I'll even give you an extra die for the ring that you just
Perfect.
pulled.
So that brings me
Uh,
up to 7,
and
and I will fork
and
in Spycraft Wise for 8.
okay, if you succeed, he believes you, and let me see. Let's call. You're rolling 8 dice.
Yes.
Let's call the margin of success. Maybe we could do it like bonus to your next roll with him, because you would get into his good graces if you do that.
Yeah.
So if you want
Okay.
to reassess
So
him,
5, 6,
if you
7.
want to do stuff like that, I would be willing to give you like a.
Perfect.
If you miss, he knows you're lying and you're covering something up, and that'll give you just extra obs for whatever. We'll do it the other way around. By your
Okay.
margin of failure is will be your. You will raise the ob to whatever it is that you want to do with him again next time.
Okay. Sounds
Because
good to me.
he'll be on alert. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds perfect. As a matter of fact, let me just. All right. So rolling 8 against his, and that is 3 successes with 6s.
Yeah, you better blow that up because it's 5,
I
and
could,
and
but
that's all right. Yeah.
however, instead of blowing that up, I
Uh-huh.
would like to invoke my Grace Under Pressure, which is a call on for Falsehood or Steal, and reroll.
All right, you can do that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go.
And since we're doing it by margin of success, now I'll spend that fate and blow up those 6s.
All right. Wow, keep going. And keep going.
So 1, 2,
Oh
3,
my
4,
God.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 successes.
All right. All right. So that's 6. That's a plus 6 dice to whatever it is that you want to do with him next. I mean, I would allow it like for your manhunter assessments, any further lies that you want to tell him, or schemes that you want to draw him into. You
Okay,
know,
now
you could even.
do all 6 of these dice have to go into the same roll, or can they be split up across
No,
multiple rolls?
I'm thinking you could split them up. Yeah, as
Okay.
long as you're in his good graces. If you mess up royally, you'll lose whatever you have. If you do a falsehood and you just plain fail, you might lose whatever favor dice you have in your pool, if we're gonna
Yeah.
call them that. If you have unused dice and you do a big failure, those will go away too.
Yeah. Sounds fair.
Yep.
I like that. Well, let me look up a manhunter up
Yeah.
right quick. Now that I have some increased dice, I can hit something a bit bigger now. And this could go against finding a weakness as well.
Yes.
Character trait, dire call on, intent, instinct, belief, past, future. Um, well, I would like to roll an ob 6 to see one of his beliefs. And
All
I'm
right.
going to put. So I've got my base. Oh no, because that dinged. So I've got my perception of 5. I'm going to put 4 of these dice I just got into it, and my final persona. So that
All
gives
right.
me 10 dice altogether.
Wow, that's a pretty good
For.
haul.
Yeah, for an ob 6. So let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 4 sixes. So
Wow.
fate point. Oh well, there's one. Whatever. I got it. I don't need to roll the other ones.
All right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me pull up my sheet here and let's get a belief. Oh, I should
All
probably
right.
log
Let's.
some Arta usage and stuff right now too.
Yeah. Might as well. Give me a minute to think, and
Yeah, yep, yep.
let's see.
All of my persona is
Beliefs.
gone, but that's okay. Doesn't give me a test for my perception. However, that is another persona point going into it.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So we're
Let's
getting
see.
close. And a fate, as a matter of fact.
All right. So his belief is something along the lines of um, the key to my success as a slaver is my fleet of uh, slaver captains. He's got I will I will reward them well so that I'll retain their loyalty. Okay,
Okay.
so does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
the key to his success is that he controls a fleet of guys that basically go out raiding and capture slaves, and not only bring it to him, but also those parts of the fleet are also involved in distribution abroad. So what he does is he manages this whole network, but the key to his network are the fleet captains. That's
Perfect.
how
So
he,
I've got the key to my success is my fleet of ships and captains. I will make sure to compensate them well.
yes, to keep their
Perfect.
loyalty. Yeah. So
And
that gives you insight into how he maintains his day-to-day.
Yeah, which shows me his weakness. If I
Uh,
can disable his ships or persuade his ship captains or otherwise incapacitate him, that'll put him on edge that could possibly give me the opening that I need.
that is correct, and that kind of gives you a clue of if you want to take over this business, which is part of one of your original beliefs, is you want to control the slaving business to set up your scheme with the
Hmm.
Underground Railroad type of deal.
Yeah,
You actually need to secure the support of these captains.
yeah.
So that's what this gets you.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that belief right quick because I already know what the new one is.
Yeah. So might as well take the persona right now. I mean, I don't care. We're gonna do it now and at the end of the. Let's just give you the persona because you're rewriting the
Yeah,
belief right now.
yeah, works for me. Let me get that typed in there. One persona.
Oh, that was your will
And
to
then,
live. You spent it. Yeah.
yeah, I did. I felt that it was important to spend.
Yeah.
So my new belief is um in order to become a successful slaver, I will need to find Relgar's list of employees, I suppose. And that makes it very actionable. And once I have a list, I can start tracking them all down.
All right. All right. So.
So, let's go ahead and jump back into the whole in character thing. He believes me, of course,
hmm
and I tell him that I believe there was payment due.
That's right. That's right. We didn't settle on a particular amount.
No, we didn't, and
He gave you a
I,
2 dice cash advance. Is that correct? I think I listened
yeah,
to the podcast. So
yep.
he gave you a two
He gave me
dice
a two
cash
dice
advance.
advance.
So we'll deduct that from whatever the final payment
Yep.
winds up being. Let's take let's take a look at resources and see how much that approximates. Um, all right. So I feel he would pay you like a total of 6 cash die,
Okay.
but he already gave you 2.
Yep. So
So
he
we'll
gives me
give you
4,
4. Yep.
and I look at him and I tell him, well, this is fine for my payment, but considering your man only got me almost got me killed, I'd like his cut as well.
That's a new roll. We're gonna have to roll that. That's
I, I'm
haggling now. Yeah,
I'm fine. Haggling?
let's
Okay.
haggle that.
What is
Yeah,
haggling rooted in? Because I know I don't have haggling.
yeah. And this
What?
is straight up. This is straight up the definition of haggling.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, it's probably perception, but let's check.
It is will.
It's
Rooted in will.
page 276. Actually, it's will. You're correct.
Yeah. So I've got a will of 4. I'm okay with that. And haggling is versus test between me and him.
Yeah, yeah. So you can fork in persuasion and soothing platitudes.
Well, there goes persuasion.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give him. Let's see. Let's switch that. Let's see what else I'm gonna invoke here. Uh, all right. So I think I'm done. What
Okay.
do you have?
I have 4 dice
All
because
right.
I
So it's
just get
not
my
good for
will.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I just get my will.
Oh, that's right. Oh, and his ups are doubled, right? His successes are doubled.
Yeah,
Wow,
because it's
that's not
beginner's
good for
luck.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Hoping he
Okay,
rolls
let's
shit.
let's talk about what happens then if you this haggling goes wrong. If his haggling goes wrong, he actually gives you one less cash die.
I'm okay with that.
And if you succeed, he gives you an extra cash die.
Okay.
Because that haggling is supposed to bring the price up or down by
Mhm.
one. So I figured if he wins, it goes down one on his favor and vice versa. So he's
Okay.
got six dice for haggling. He is a slaver. That's his
Yeah, makes
deal.
sense.
Plus one for persuasion, and I'll give him an advantage die for the deed's already done. So
Yeah.
you're haggling after the fact.
Okay.
So it's 8 dice.
Here's
Let's
price
see how
first.
this goes.
8 against 4. Let's see.
Let's see how this goes.
I picked up 3.
And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 12.
Yeah.
So this is
Well,
like an impossible test.
I mean,
It's
I
challenging.
could,
Uh huh.
I could use a fate and get a string of sixes and still win this. My luck on
Theoretically,
the dices have
12.
been really well, but I don't want
It's
to waste the fate because I know it's not going to happen.
it's 12 successes, and this is
Yeah.
beginner's luck, right? When the ob is challenging, it goes to what?
Yeah,
To the skill
it
or
goes
to
to
the
the
stat?
stat. Yeah, it
To the
goes to the
stat.
stat. So that's a
Excellent.
challenging will,
Yeah,
which
that's
I am
awesome.
okay with.
Yeah,
I will take a
that's not
challenging
bad.
will test.
Yeah.
So he gives it to me, and
So he goes, I don't think so. This price was settled beforehand. You are actually. I have no proof that this is exactly what went down. The man is a professional. I will not respond for
and
his mistakes.
I
He
look
was.
him in the eye and
Okay.
I tell him, "You have no proof that this went down, so you're calling me a liar."
He says. He says, well, I take your point. I take your point. I'll take it back. It doesn't really matter if he did performed as you say or not. The man is a professional, and he was under a separate contract to do his part, and I cannot be held responsible for uh, his or her. I mean, his failure or neglect, if any, was incurred.
Well, then let me ask you this, because he absolutely failed and he put my life in great risk. And seeing as he's now dead, and I have no way to take retribution on him for this, um, where is his home?
Oh, all right.
I would
So,
like to take a look around and take my compensation from whatever possessions he may have lying about. And this
okay,
in no
all right.
way
So,
invalidates your contract with the man, nor comes out of your pocket.
So he says, I suppose that's fair. And he gives you an address
Cool.
uh, in town. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I tell Rogar that we will be in touch, that I have other work that needs to be done, that if he happens to have a job, I'll hear about it, and I will come see him.
All right.
And I pull my dagger out of his desk
Uh-huh. That's right.
and fold that back up in my clothes and just walk away
Okay.
like a boss.
Okay. So remember, you got 3 more dice then instead of 4. You just got 3 more
Yep.
cash.
Yep,
Yeah.
I got 3 more cash die for
Excellent.
now. We're going to
Excellent.
see what we can't get at his house.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, yeah, I'm going to make my way straight to his house then.
All right. So it's an unassuming place, eastern part of town. Uh, Actually, western part of town, more toward the
Okay.
docks than anything else. Um, and what are you going to do? You want to sneak in or?
I'm going to knock on the door and see if he lives with anybody, or if he lives alone,
Okay.
or
Okay.
really if anybody's home.
Yeah. So so now no, nobody's at home.
Is the door unlocked?
Uh, no, it is locked. It is locked.
I will kick it down.
All right. So so well, let's see if we can complicate this. Let me see. What would happen if other people saw you? They wouldn't call the guard because this is they know this guy is on the wrong side of the law. So no one would really turn you in.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what? I was thinking of complicating this, but maybe not. You know, this guy's an assassin. Nobody messes with him. Nobody's gonna go running to the police if you go in. They figure if you go in and take his stuff, you're dead because the assassin is gonna kill you when he comes back.
Yeah.
So just go in. Yeah, you kick the door down.
Cool. Kick it down, walk in, and
Yeah,
I just start rifling through shit. I'm
yeah.
looking for valuables, notes, contracts, any kind of journals, any kind of information I can find,
All right.
all the goodies.
So so let's do an observation test then, because I'm figuring this guy would hide most of his
Mm.
stuff.
This would
Um,
be perception. Observation is versus skills like sneaky, whereas perception is to find stuff in the environment.
Even if the stuff is hidden,
I believe so.
let's take a look
Because,
because that's one of the big. No, but it's just like traps.
okay, yeah, to spot the hidden, characters, traps, and ghosts. Test this skill in a versus test against inconspicuous sleight of hand or trapper. Note: do not use observation for standard perception test to spot a weakness in armor, to notice details of a flag, or to look for an escape tunnel. So, yeah, this
Yeah,
is observation is almost always a versus test. So that would lead me
yeah.
to believe that this would be a perception test and
Let,
not an
no, let's
observation.
let's do a persuade versus test versus the guy's stealthy because he did hide the stuff. Uh,
Okay.
or maybe sleight of hand or something like that. I don't know because it feels like perception is like an awareness of your
Yeah.
surroundings and just observing details. And it's a wrong word to say,
Okay.
but like
Yeah,
if
I got you.
details or something, you could get it. But if it's purposely hidden and it feels like observation is what
Okay. Yeah, sounds
finds
good.
it. Yeah.
Let's do it. That'll give me another beginner's luck test towards it.
Yeah.
So I get to roll my shiny new 5 perception,
Yeah. So
and I picked up 2.
all right. So
So
if you
unless he
succeed, uh,
unless he rolls, if he rolls
really
higher than a
poorly,
1, I fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can roll one success and I'll still win.
That's exactly what he got. One success.
Ah!
so so yeah, that doubles to a 2. So you meet the ob. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Perfect.
ties go to the defender, don't they?
Ties do go to the defender. That is correct.
Uh,
Damn.
yeah, this is kind of like a dead end. I'm thinking of what were you hoping to find? Extra money or
Jewelry, cash. I was really looking for documents and
documents about what?
information.
All right.
Any of his past dealings with Rogar, anything that might outline their business, anything of that nature.
All right. To what end? To improve your
Just to fill up the dossier.
just to
The more
fill up the
information I
doors
have,
here.
the deadlier I can be.
All right. All right. Let me see. Let me think what we could give you. Um.
We could, because this is a failure at this point, because ties do go to the defender, and this
Yeah.
is a versus test. So I did fail. We could come
Okay.
up with some documents. However, one of his assassin partners has heard of his death and decided to come and get the documents before somebody such as myself could come in and take them, and that puts me in a confrontation with that person. And then depending on
Okay.
how the confrontation goes would depend on whether or not I am able to make it out with documents.
All right. All right. So. All right. So I like it. So let's do it. Yeah. So so this guy shows up then because you're taking too long ransacking through his stuff,
Yeah.
and this man shows up. His name is gonna be uh, let's see, Tagon. Tagon. Let me put it on the dossier. Where's the dossier document? Hang on. Printing assassination profiles. There we go. So, all right. So this is a
Manhunter
older
roll.
older guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
with a couple of scars on his face. Uh, what do you want to find out
Um,
in your
let's see, what do I want to find out about him? Probably an instinct, however, don't quote me on that yet. Let me find out what I need versus what will be most useful. Alright, so yeah, I am going to look for an instinct. It will be an ob 4 versus my 5 dice. And I missed it. So, false instinct.
all right. So false instinct is gonna be. Let me see. Uh, instinct is gonna be play it cool and find out more. That's the false instinct.
Yeah. Yep.
Play it cool and find out more.
All right. So, I just kind of look up at him when he walks in,
Yeah.
hands in the
And
cookie jar.
yeah. So he goes, "Who are you and what are you doing here?"
I am Donlin Trine, and I'm here to gather my payment from this poor fool's home.
So he goes, "Really? How long have you known? How long have you known?"
Ishkal?
No. He says, uh, "Noish. How long have you known Noish?"
I know not of the man that you speak. I believe you may be in the wrong place.
Yeah, he's testing you. Is what he's doing. So, um, you know what? I'm kind of inclined to give him a manhunter trait too, and have him try to case you out.
Stuff out? Yeah, I'm cool with it. He's an assassin. Manhunter makes sense.
Why don't we do it as an opposed roll, or is that against the spirit of the thing?
Yeah, because Manhunters, like, there's no text on Manhunter for, like, concealing your shit.
Yeah.
So,
All
like,
right.
I don't see how it could work as an opposed roll. But,
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
he's gonna go.
and all the odds are already set, so it just, like, depends on what he's trying to do. Like, to sense a person's intent, to
Uh
deceive,
huh.
for example, is an Ob 4. Seeing an instinct's an Ob 4. Belief is an Ob 6.
So let's do one up for to sense your.
My intent.
Wait. Let me look it up again. It's under manhunter, right?
It's actually aura reading, the
Auto
skill.
reading. Okay. Yeah.
Um, you,
Manhunter is that what allows you to do that? Yeah.
yeah, and you don't gain the parts of it to actually do like the magical reading of the auras in the past and the future. It's just about the person.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what? He's gonna go for a belief.
Okay, and it
He's
is
gonna
at
try
his
and sense a belief.
perception.
Yeah. So he rolls perception,
Yes.
and so he can't fork anything into it.
No. No.
Oh.
No forks with Manhunter. It's your straight perception.
Wow. No. So then that's too high because he's not gonna get that high unless he spends art on it. And so what can he get for an op 4?
Ob 4, he can sense my intent, or he can see one of my instincts.
All right. Let's see if he can. Let's see what he gets. So just to.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So he gets
he can't
false
get a read on
belief.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Or gets something false. But I'm cool with just can't
Yeah.
get a read on me.
He just can't get a read. So he goes. If you're looking for payment, why are you ransacking his house? You could.
Well, I'm ransacking his house because last night we pulled a job together. He almost got me killed, and he most certainly got himself killed, so I can't hardly take the payment from the man, so I came to see if he had any possessions of value that could compensate me for the trouble he put me through.
So.
And I'm here at with the consent of Rogar. He is who gave me the address.
All right. He goes. He goes. How much are you owed? Um,
Well, how much do you think almost dying is worth?
I take your point. So he seems to be gearing up, like to take some stuff for himself too. So you want to try and persuade him? You just drop big name right there.
Yeah,
So
I was hoping that might help.
yeah,
I
why
mean, if
don't
he wants,
just give me a.
I mean, if he wants to take some stuff, I'm okay with him taking stuff. I've found the documents that I want.
All right. Yeah,
Like
give me a
I don't know.
perception. Give me a persuasion roll. If you succeed, he just leaves because he doesn't want to involve himself or go through the trouble.
Okay.
If you fail, he gets greedy and thinks he can get more.
Okay, and what my obs will?
Yeah, and if he gets too greedy, maybe he.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, B2 persuasion. Spycraft wise,
grift wise.
and yeah, grift wise,
Yeah,
that gets me up to B4, and I think that's as far as I'll take it.
yeah, and it's a B3 will. I'm thinking
Okay.
this isn't a top professional, so I'll give him a 3.
Cool. So here we go, and I failed it spectacularly.
Oh wow! All right, so now he's greedy. Let's see what we're gonna make him do. Uh, you know what? He doesn't know you. He doesn't trust you. He was a friend of Eshkal's.
Mhm.
He's not quite sure what you're doing here. This could all be a lie. You did not manage to convince him of what you were saying, and dropping Relgar's name. He's not convinced that you're telling him the truth. So he's got an instinct that he's gonna draw his dagger and try to uh, poison you with it to to uh, what you call it, to knock you out. It's a knockout poison. It's not gonna kill you. But
Okay.
he wants to stab you, so you might take a stab wound in the process.
Okay.
So so if you want to resolve it, however you want to resolve it, if you want to go into a fight, or if you want to go into bloody versus, or your call, your game.
Well, let's see here. What do I want to do? Um, I would
Is it
like to make a speed test to just book ass out of here with the documents in hand.
okay? That sounds fair.
I
So
just kind of want to,
we'll make it a
run.
straight versus test. Uh,
Okay.
if he succeeds, he's gonna stab you, and the poison will knock you unconscious before you can do much else.
Okay.
So you'll be in his power. Okay. If you
Sounds good to
succeed,
me. So
you just get the hell out of Dodge. So.
yep. So I've got a speed of 5. I
Mm-hmm.
will burn that persona point I gained for 6 and see what
All right.
happens.
So he's gonna do a dagger skill of 4, and I'll give him assassination wise. Why not? So I'll give him
Okay.
5 dice,
Let's see what happens. Come on, dice. 2 with a 6.
which is good. You beat
Perfect.
his 1, so yeah. So you
Perfect.
do. You get out of there.
Yeah. So the
So
only thing left I have to do is see what exactly these documents are, which if you want to do that next session where you can take some time to
yeah,
think about
yeah,
what I actually got, I'm completely
yeah,
cool with. I will just make a note on the character sheet,
yeah. I'll
and
probably need that.
I want to go see Isham
All right,
and
that
give
sounds good.
him a little update.
Okay.
So, let's see here.
And your intent with the documents, what you want to find is something to provide further insight into Relgar's network, so you
Yeah,
can take him down and
yeah. Any
and
kind of
take over.
infrastructure,
Yep,
names,
yep. All right. All right.
routes, whatever the case may be.
Okay. Okay.
Hell, it could even not even be on, about the organization itself. It could even be maybe personal letters that reveal insight into the man himself. Maybe uh, old dude was acting as courier to deliver letters to a sister, or a mother, a lover, whatever the case may be, that would provide further weaknesses for me to exploit. Whatever the case may be, get creative. I
Yeah.
just, more information was my only aim. I really don't care what kind of information it is, as long as it's useful.
All right. All right. Okay. So I'll work on
So,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, walk up into Isham's office as I normally do,
Uh huh.
and say, "Hello, my friend."
Hello. How how did the letter of introduction go?
It went well. I completed my first job, and in doing so, was able to eliminate one of his top enforcers while keeping in
Excellent.
good standing with Rogar himself.
I see. Is this related to the ruckus I hear coming from the Aranor embassy?
If you think a man is wanted as the great Donlin Trine would just stroll into Aranor Embassy and create a ruckus, then yeah, sure. That's exactly what it was about. Because that
Yeah.
sounds like something I'd do.
Though I hear the ambassador is dead.
I hear the same thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Uh, I'm glad you're making progress. Don't forget, uh, after you take down Relgar, we still need to deal with Golo the Lesser. Uh,
And we will. But Rogar is priority number one right now. I've already infiltrated his organization, made great impressions. So he's the one we're after for now. Once we take care of him, I will expand outwards for you.
very
And
well.
my network will be much larger at that point as well. And
Very well.
our pockets will be noticeably heavier as well,
Yes, they
which is
will.
always a good thing.
He gives you an address. He tells you. He tells you. I have procured a small place in the city. It seems my former mansion is being occupied by none other than Golo the Lesser. He seems to have taken over my property in my absence. Uh,
If you'd like, I could burn it down for you.
my
I
old
seem to
estate?
have
No, no.
kind of a knack for that.
No, no. I want my old estate back, is what I want. So
Okay.
at some point, I'll be fine in these temporary quarters in the city, but ultimately, uh, I'll want my old estate back. Uh,
Okay.
I I feel that if we can deal with my competitor soon, uh, I will introduce you uh, to the Hooded Emperor. Now, if you recall, the Hooded Emperor is the head of the
Yeah.
underworld here in Arendelle.
Well,
Uh,
as
what,
much
they,
as I would like to deal with your competitors in a timely fashion, you must be made aware that patience is a virtue,
oh
and patience
yes,
is what will get this done.
oh yes,
Slow and methodical.
I didn't mean to imply any further haste on your part, but if we continue as we are going, I am sure uh, the Emperor will be glad to see us back. I am making great progress in reestablishing my network. Most of my operatives have returned back into my service, and the man who was taken over for the business has returned to the fold. Uh, so my empire is intact. I expect uh, I expect to regain full control soon, and as I said, I am moving back to my house. I mean, I'm moving into this house in the city, so you will know where to find me when you need it.
Perfect. Well,
All right?
I do have a request.
Yes.
I would like you to spread a bit of coin around to the local bards to start spreading the tale of the ghost, the new fixer that is in town. Have them sing of my tales,
What
such
is it
as
you would?
my exploits at the embassy. This is, and my intent here is to start constructing a reputation separate from Domlin Shrines
Excellent. I
here
like
within
it.
that, like an alter ego, just to further solidify myself as the criminal that I am. So when I take over the slave trade, there's a bit more credibility to it.
All right.
So essentially, an alter ego, and I decided to choose the ghost because, as far as anybody's aware, nobody knows who's been doing this shit, burning down dudes, slave operation, knocking off the ambassador. Like nobody has any inclination that it's me, except for the few people that I encountered that have been brought into the circle
Okay.
to keep it quiet. So as far as the general public knows, there's just some crazy dude out there pulling a bunch of crap. So I kind of want to give a name to that persona
Uh huh.
and
Uh
let
huh.
it start to spread. And I feel the easiest way to do that would be to spread a bit of coin around to the bards to start singing of his exploits in the local taverns
All
and start
right.
building some of that hype at the grassroots level.
All right. So, so I'm gonna say, how big a reputation are you looking for?
I'd eventually like to get it up to 3D, but for now we can start with a 1D reputation. And I will
Yeah.
I will even give him the coin because we've already determined that my services are free and he no
Yeah.
longer owes me anything. So I will give him 3 cash dice to spread around on my behalf.
All right. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out like a payment scheme that I want to implement here. Maybe
Yeah.
two or three dice, cash dice to get you started on your one die
hmm
reputation, and then it'll probably be an extra cash die for every step. So it'll be like, let's
I
call
mean,
it,
I'd even be cool with going like 3 cash die for one, and then 6 to get like an additional 6 to get
yeah,
the second one, and then 9 to get the final one.
yeah. That sounds like a reasonable rate of
Cool.
exchange.
Well,
And
I will go ahead
I'll
and
just yeah,
add that 1D rep as
yeah,
a
I'll just
ghost.
say yes to it. If we do it like that, just take off the money and
Yep. Money is gone and reputation is
the
here.
only condition that I'll give is that, let's say, you can upgrade the reputation maybe once a week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
That seems
absolutely
fair.
acceptable.
Takes 1 week to get it. You know, it'll now be in one dice. Let's say it'll take a couple of days to start at one dice,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, for
one
sure.
week after that, then you can raise it to two, and 1 week after that, you can raise it to three.
For sure.
How's that sound?
That sounds perfect, and that'll give me a reputation I can actually do something with.
Yeah.
Like, the Great Dahlman Shrine helps out when I'm like, come on, you've heard of my skills, but as far as the criminal mastermind persona I'm trying to craft, it doesn't work too well.
Yeah,
And then, also, the next time that somebody rolls my Domlin Shrine, I can be like, no, I'm the fucking ghost.
that's true. And
And,
this is incredibly handy if you want to take over the slave trade,
yeah.
because you're going to need to establish a network of some sort, and
hmm
reputation is a definite
Yeah.
call-in for that.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's what I was thinking. I felt it was pertinent to do something about that. And I've been mulling over a couple of different ways to try to go about it. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, paying off bards to sing of my tales to the common
Sounds
people
good.
seems like the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like quarter till 11. I don't have
Yeah.
anything left unless you do. If you want to go ahead and call it.
No. Yeah. Let's do it because I'm flat out. Yeah, I didn't have much planned for today, so the improv I think was pretty good. It started to taper out near the end because you were making rolls left and right, so all my complications were coming to dead ends. So,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
guess. I guess turnabout is fair play because our last Ravens Ford game, I was rolling like crazy. So,
yeah,
same
yep.
thing was happening to you. Yeah.
And
So,
it's always good. Like it can't always be failure. Sometimes you need that string of great luck
yeah,
where stuff
yeah.
just goes your way.
That's true. So let's look at the art cheat sheet. I have it somewhere here. So we can do awards. Player quick sheet. There we go.
So let
All
me
right.
pull up my
Earning art.
beliefs here.
So driving forward the game with a belief. I did give you the persona already for the completed
Yeah,
belief
yeah, for the one
rewarding.
completed.
Yeah,
So I've absolutely worked towards taking over the slave ring and eliminating Rogar.
definitely, definitely.
So
And
there's one.
in a
Yes.
sense, we're saved.
Yep. So there's two, and
So
then in order to become a successful slaver, I will need to find Rogar's list of employees. I feel that that was pursued just by going into his, dude's house and rifling through documents. Whether that's what he found or not is irrelevant because he was searching documents.
yeah, I think that's worth a fate, definitely.
Cool. So 3 fate, the one persona that I already spent.
Hmm.
I did not invoke a trait or an instinct that took us unforeseen or complicated life for me.
No.
Um,
Uh,
no right skill, right time.
no.
So
No humor.
embodiment if you feel it, and I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's give you a persona for that because if it's not embodiment, it's workhorse or MVP. So I figure, you know,
Yeah, and
it was good
well,
work.
like of course I'm MVP. I'm the only one
It'll
here, and there
always
was
be MVP, but
So that
we could.
um,
So
I
I'm
like
saying,
embodiment, and I try to stay
uh,
really in character with him
yeah,
too.
yeah. I think you have, and I think you have. But yeah, I figure, you were so successful tonight that MVP would sort of kick in because,
Well, and I could see getting the MVP persona for that just massive sixes
yeah, that's all I'm
that popped
saying.
off. Like that, like instances like that, those big rolls that just everything coalesces is about the only time that
That I
I,
could
as a
see.
GM,
Yeah,
could ever like give out MVP in a one-on-one game.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So if you want to go for a second one with that, I'm down. If not, it's not a big deal. I've
Uh,
already, I picked up 2 persona on the night anyways.
yeah, I thought I mean, I figured two is okay. Two personas okay.
Perfect. So I start.
Uh,
Let's see. So I'm starting next game with 8 fate and 1 persona.
one persona just?
Well, yeah,
No.
because I spent the other one already. Remember?
Uh, you were at zero persona at some point. Then I gave you one for
I'm
completing
pretty.
the belief. And
And
let's
yeah,
give you.
I think I spent that, didn't I?
Did you spend it immediately? Oh man.
Did
Oh,
did I
that's right.
spend it?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
I did. So
I
yeah,
think.
I've got 1 persona for next week's game.
Well, so
Well,
you know what?
maybe
Give
2.
yourself an extra one. Give yourself an extra one. Let's give you the MVP then for the
Okay.
big roll, and
Cool.
that's two persona for next time.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is possibly next week for anybody out there that watches. I'm getting 16 teeth pulled first thing in the morning tomorrow. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to clearly speak to play next week. So that's all kind of up in the air at the moment.
Yep.
But if
But
not next week, the week after for sure. I don't see it taking that long to get healed to where I can speak clearly.
yeah, it's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah, just
But
long enough for the swelling to go down.
yeah, hopefully by next Thursday you'll be at the
Yeah.
latest. You'll be okay.
I'm hoping for Tuesday, to be
I'm
honest. I
I'm
mean, you got to figure I've got all day tomorrow. I'm going at 8 in the morning. So
I'm
I got
pretty
all day
sure.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's 5 days of recovery before our
I'm
next
pretty
scheduled
sure
game.
you'll be
So
fine. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
they,
people who
like
get like surgery and they're out like in 3 days. So
yeah. Well, and I'm not worried about that. I'm just having all the teeth out of my mouth. I don't know how quickly that's all going to heal to where I'll be able to speak. Like I'll be up to play on
yeah.
Tuesday. I'm my biggest worry is whether or not you're going to be able to understand what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might be mumbling. Yeah, I had my wisdom teeth taken out once, and it took a while.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
getting 16 pulled, so
yeah.
yeah, it's all going to depend on how clearly I can speak come Tuesday. But I'll shoot you an email Monday and let you know how I'm feeling. But let's plan on Tuesday,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll let you know Monday for sure. But I
Excellent.
think I should be good by Tuesday.
Excellent.
All right, man.
All
Always a
right.
pleasure playing. It was a great game tonight. I had a lot of fun. Got a lot done.
Yes, yes. Some twists and turns.
Yep. And
It
I
was
will
fun.
see you next time.
Will do. Take care and good luck with that.
Yep. Thanks, man.